Hello and welcome to Japanese in 5, where we take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes out of your extremely important life, and we teach you some grammar. That way there are no excuses as to why you can't speak Japanese. This is number 4 for Japanese 5, and we really only have 5 minutes, so I've got to get started today. Today's topic is a big one. It's the biggest one ever in 5 minutes. It's how to say, I want you to do something for me. And these are all of the words that we're going to use today in order to accomplish this. Let's just go through each one of them quickly. Hoshii is the adjective to want. I said to want, which is awkward, right? But in Japanese, hoshii is a want. It's a want, not to want, but in English we must use it as a verb. Then we have morau. Morau means to receive, but it's the informal way to say receive. In other words, it's not super polite, not about informality, but it's what you use when you're talking about receiving something from someone of the same level and not someone above. If you're going to use receiving for someone above, then you have to use itadaku. These verbs are covered somewhere in course 4, I believe, and then we expand onto something more complicated, more advanced in course 5, I believe, the very first lesson called the power of te, which is sort of a subset of what we're going to do today. Actually, today is the subset. And then we have this verb that you probably don't know, but you have heard it somewhere before. It's negau. Negau means it's like a request or a hope. You hope something. And it's used in yoroshiku onegai shimasu, which you all learn. Unless you've learned dozo yoroshiku, which I feel bad for you because it's not really used. But yoroshiku onegai shimasu is always used in the beginning when you first meet somebody. And then you need to know how to use the tai forms, and you need to know what te forms are. Both are covered in course 2 and 3 of YesJapan.com, Japanese from Zero, and the books. All right, here we go. First way is you take any te form and you add that adjective. Do you remember what it was? The adjective for wanting? Very good, Jim. Jim is very surprised right now that I knew his name. Te hoshii is how you do it. Te hoshii. Any te form plus hoshii means I want you to do. For example, I want you to go. Itte hoshii. I want you to come. Kite hoshii. I want you to read. Yonde hoshii. That's how you do it. For do, it would be shite hoshii. Shite hoshii. Want you to do. And you could put that in all sorts of sentences. If you wanted them to do it, which is past tense, you would say shite hoshikatta. I assume you all know how to do conjugations of adjectives because that's what you need to know. What if you don't want them to do? Then it's shite hoshikunai. And if you didn't want, past tense negative, you'd say shite hoshikunakatta. That's how you do it. Now, before we go, we're going to talk about the 2 other things we talked about. It's very simple. Te moraitai. This is really the same thing. I want you to do something for me. Shite moraitai. If you translated it, you might say, I want to have you do it for me. But it's the same thing. Shite moraitai. I want you to do it. I want you to buy it for me. You could say katte hoshii. You could say katte moraitai. Then, this is a little bit off center here, I apologize. Shite moraitai is how you would do it with the suru verb. And you have the final one, te itadakitai, which is the most polite way. You want to use this when you're talking about people above you. And so you would say, katte itadakitai, to maybe your teacher. I want you to buy it for me. But it's a very polite way. You might have heard itadaku in itadakimasu, which is what you say before you eat. It is that type of a polite verb. And here's how you would use it with the suru verb, shite itadakitai. I want you to do it. And I did realize right now, I just got to like the last slide and I realized I forgot about negau, but you'll hear something o negaitai. I hope that you would this thing. And you'll hear negaitai like that, but I don't have any more time to give you examples, but hopefully now you know how to use shite hoshii, shite moraitai, and shite itadakitai to say, I want you to do something in Japanese. Thank you for watching Japanese in 5 minutes. Go back to your regular scheduled life. Bye-bye.